Stevie Clark on the 511 Stark, and the St Blaise motorcycles at Stark Varg. So he missed the first round, becoming a dad. I don't know whether it's for the first time, but definitely he was there with his wife when he had a child. So I think he missed the first round, but he's been out there for the rest of him. We'll see how he goes here. But track conditions now for the first moto, I think this is about exactly how you would want it.
Yeah, it kind of frustrates me a little bit to be sat here if I'm looking at the conditions. Phil and I've done a really good job with the track. It's looking like that you can be quite creative out there because the dirt's like just that right amount of moisture in it that you can sort of create a new line, because if it goes a little bit hard, then obviously it's harder to move around on the track, but at the minute it looks like that you can sort of carve your own lines if needed.
So here we go then, 15-second board is up, 5 second. Oh, somebody went early, that was Sid Putnam trying to get a flyer, I think, on the 91, and it's Conrad Muse, and he's going to take the whole shot from Stevie Clark on the start. In fact, Stevie Clark's going down the inside. Clark is going to lead on the start bar. Stephen Clark, the electric motocrosser, fires up. Aurel Oliver drops across the front. But Stephen Clark takes the whole shot. That's got to be a first. And Clarkie, former World 85cc champion, he won't mind me saying that he's in the twilight of his career now as a pro, but what a start. And he knows how to ride. Conrad shows him the wheel at the inside and takes the lead. But that's a monumental moment. Ben Watson there, up to second. That was unbelievable. He got that literally in turn 2, didn't he? He came down the inside of him and just put it there.
Todd Keller is third there. Is Taylor now, I think, moved to fourth? I think
that was Taylor Hamill on the DRT Kawasaki. But, well, that was a history moment in the making. The field streaming up the hill for the first time, and it is the 426 Crendon True 7 Honda of Conrad Muse that leads on the first lap from championship leader Ben Watson. Then it looks like it's Kelly. Where was Oliver?
I'm not actually sure if Oliver went down on the...
He did, he's there, he's 28th, you're quite right. Yeah. So we called it as, I called it as Oliver going down the inside, but it wasn't, it was Kelly. So where did Oliver disappear? He was at the back when they came across the line here, so he's got to have gone down. I can't see any yellow flags anywhere, Josh, so he is where he is. We'll see if
he is circulating, I can see him.
Yeah.
Just right at the back.
So loads of stuff happening in this opening lap of the first of our Pico Factory Racing MX1 races. Now, I would say that out of these two guys, I fancy Conrad Muse will like these conditions more than Ben Watson.
I think so.
But Ben has been a pretty good hardback rider these past few years. His time at GP's definitely improved his game in the hardback. He's good at Trentino on the Yamaha, so whilst it's nothing like this.
Yeah, when you get to this sort of level, you have to be good in all conditions.
Yeah.
But yeah, Conrad's out front. He'll put some good laps in here now, I think.
And he's been riding really well. And comes past our commentary position on the True 7 Honda, right round the outside. Ben's gone on the tight line. Ben always tends to be a kind of a tight line guy. He doesn't run high wide and handsome very often.
Yeah, Conrad's not afraid to sort of run a lot bigger, wider lines just to keep the thing flowing. So yeah, it'd be interesting. Like, there's a lot of turns there that all around this section that Ben's gone inside, whereas Conrad's been riding wide until here.
So Hamill up to third now on the DRT Kawasaki. Kellett fourth. Tom Grimshaw, your teammate, then he is there in a good fifth. Purdon in his Kawasaki debut sixth. Stevie Clark still there in seventh on the St Blaise Stark Varg. Then it's Edwards on the KTM. Jason Meeran on the Yamaha, and Jamie Carpenter, the second of the Crendon True 7 Hondas. He is rounding out the top 10. No surprise, fastest lap is Conrad Muse leading at the front. So the next 3 or 4 laps, Josh, I think if Ben can keep him in sight, he'll be happy with that, and then he'll work on him. Late race pace is always the thing for Ben Watson.
Yeah.
GPs, he always appears in the background and makes up 4 or 5 places in the last 10 minutes. So Conrad is going to have to get a decent gap on him.
Yeah, I also think that Taylor, it'd be interesting to see what Taylor can do, because Taylor's been riding really well this season, and this is a track that suits him far more than what the last couple of rounds have suited him. So he's definitely prefers the hard pack, and I think maybe he could potentially go with the top 2. It'll also be interesting. I'm glad to see Tom having a good ride after he's put, like you said, Ling, he's put in a couple strong rides, and here he had a good qualifying, and he's running 5th now, which it's nice to see, especially after the circumstances at the start of the season for him. It was tragic. Really.
So Tom Grimshaw there in 5th, and he's definitely, like I say, backing up his form from the previous rounds. But there's the battle then. So let's see if we can see Aurel Oliver then currently running in 18th position. And there is the 16th of Tom Grimshaw, with Purdon then closing in, maybe. We'll see what the gap is next time by. So do you guys get much chance to train together, or does it just geography keep you do your thing, he does his?
We have a couple times, but so far, no, we haven't rode a lot together. I went down to Spain in pre-season, and Tom didn't, so I didn't actually see him then. We did ride a couple times once I got back, but no, Tom kind of went off and done his thing, and I done my thing. But it would have been nice to have started to ride together a little bit more now the season has got going, but then obviously I've got injured, so yeah, I think in other circumstances we would have rode together a little bit more, but he also lives quite a lot further away than he's like 6-7 hours away from me, so it's he rides sort of by him, and it makes it a bit more tricky, but yeah, it would be nice to get out more so with him.
I am absolutely blown away with Stevie Clark on that start, still inside the top 10. So here's Doral putting a little bit of a shoulder then on Aurel Oliver, who is on an absolute rip from coming across the line dead last on the first lap. He's putting all sorts of pressure on the Chambers man, and he dives down. I've been impressed with how he rode the 450 in GPs this year, Josh. He's definitely hit the ground running. He's led a couple of laps, and I think Sean's really pleased to have a rider of his calibre on the team. Yeah.
I mean, I've ridden there. I rode there in 24, and they do a good job. I cannot criticise them at all. It's the setup that they've got for like a small team in a trying to do GPs is. Oh, as he just goes down the inside of Carpenter. What they do is really good, and they put 100% effort into it. So. Obviously, in 24 I had a couple little issues. Well, it's the first time I dislocated my shoulder, funnily enough. We had that issue, and it is good to see like Simon and everyone. They're just so keen, and they want to do such a good job. It's in the GPs. Oriel has been doing a really good job. It is good to see.
And obviously, KTM happy with what Sean's doing, giving him the backing to keep a rider of Oriel's stature kind of on the team, because obviously it was originally set up. He came to the team as a result of his own team folding. It suddenly became a 3-man effort, and we all wondered whether they would step up to 450, and I'm really pleased for Sean to the fact that they do, because obviously, like you say, he runs a nice tight ship there, and having a rider that can put his sponsors and his team sponsors up there at the front end at World Championship level, certainly something that he can sell on, and he is closing in. So he's closing in on the back of Mira Edwards and the 579 of Bobby Bruce. I think he's already found his way past Steve Clark, who's now he's down to 15th. But look, Clark is not a full-time pro anymore. He's just out there. He's an enjoyment rider, not riding full-time. So he had his moments of glory. They will take well. I think we've got his team boss coming in at some point during the day, so he'll be well happy with that. Nice pass by Oliver there.
It will be really interesting to see how far he can climb here, but I feel fourth or fifth is definitely a potential here.
Yeah, so Muse currently out the front by 5 seconds from Ben Watson, with Taylor Hamill in third, and it's a long gap back to Kelly in fourth on that number 8 98 SR Moto Blues Honda. So you're not missing any battles at the front. Tom Grimshaw he's there in fifth, and it's Purdon, Mira, Ben Edwards. Aurel Oliver has already made his way past Bobby Bruce, so we're hopefully going to be following Aurel's progress through this next few laps. He's going to be catching the back of the Irishman on the motorcycle Yamaha, and he just picks that burn, that rut on the inside, and he will drop down across the top of him. That always looks a really iffy corner, especially with the lack of visibility because of the banner at the back of the start straight. And you're just going down there. I just get the feeling that it's just an unnerving thing to be having to go down there and ride around what is effectively the corner of a wall.
I think, of course, see the gap between Watson and Taylor now is come down a lot.
Yeah,
they could be coming into a bit of a battle there for second.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that out the window, and if our crew can pick that up, and if he does, then that will be a big surprise, because I did not see Taylor Hamill having the speed.
Yeah, he is. He is
there. He's on him, isn't he? So we'll keep watching Aurel Oliver. There we go. So there's Watson and Hamill.
Yeah, he's really closed on.
Yeah.
I did think before even this race started, I thought that this would suit Taylor quite well. Oh, and already...
Oh, is that the pass for second? Is he going to be able to close it out? He does.
That come quick.
Well, that was an excellent piece of directorship by our crew. And right on the button, and Taylor Hamill on the DRT Kawasaki takes second place. If that's not got Steve Dixon off his settee, I don't know what will. But like I say, he's been and he's got a job. He's going to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I know he's a pro level athlete in ability and everything. He's working a 9 to 5 and showing just what he is capable of.
Yeah, he works for Meon Valley Garage Doors, who they're a good sponsor of mine also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Darren, he's a really nice guy. Yeah, so I think Taylor can have a couple of days off to go riding here and there. But yeah, he does still go to work on a Monday.
Yeah, but he's been impressive. I was impressed with him last year, and I felt really I felt that he got shortchanged by not getting on the podium at all last year, because he thoroughly deserved it. But he is here and he is running second. He's 8 and a bit seconds behind our race leader Conrad Muse on the Crendon True 7 Honda, and I don't think he's going to close that gap down. He's certainly doing enough to be able to pull a little bit of a gap on the Dirt Store Tribe of our championship leader Ben Watson. Obviously this will close the championship up quite considerably now, because it means that going into race 2, should it stay as it is at the moment, Conrad and Ben will be tied on points.
Oh, of course, yeah.
A little bit of mistake then, the man from Nottingham, just not quite getting out of that rut.
I feel like Ben is, like you say, he's taking a lot of the insides which are cupping out, and then he's losing that like forward momentum in the turns, whereas Taylor just seems to be sort of a bit more almost smoother and just rolling through the turns, which here you can get. So I've been in both positions where you roll in and everything feels so easily, and then other times you come here and it's like you just push and nothing seems to be going right because you're just burying it in turns. Your line choices are slightly wrong, and yeah, I've been on both sides of it. So maybe Ben can regroup for the next one and sort of look to sort of open up the corners a little bit more, maybe.
So there's that's what we're talking about, cupping out there. As almost puts Aurel Oliver on his here, but he is closing in at rate now on the number 16 of Tom Grimshaw on the Apico Factory Racing Honda. Let's have a look and see where Tom Murphy, he's out of the points at the minute. He looks like he's been down at some point in this one, so not a great race for him. But to be fair, I think that putting him on the bike is just a chance to get the bike out there and give him the opportunity.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody was expecting he was going to jump in and fill your shoes, because obviously you are a top performer, and it's a big ask of anybody to jump on, even though it's the same bike. I think obviously your bike's a lot nicer spec, a little bit more sorted for him maybe, and so good to see him out there on it. But here's Aurel closing in on Tom Grimshaw, and the other two riders there in front, and that is Burden and Kellett, who are just a few seconds up the road. So I think, as you said, Josh, 4th place for Aurel Oliver is going to keep him in the hunt in the championship, and that is that's the big thing. Nobody's away with this one. I mean, even Taylor Hamill's only 27 points adrift, so he's down there in 4th at the moment.
Yeah, it's damage limitation here, I think, for Oliveri. Like you say, if he can get to 4th, then I think that's like a win for him in this race. If that's after a bad start or this is a bad race for him, if he can get to 4th, that's still easily a podium at the end of today, isn't it? So yeah, I think that's what he's just got to keep pushing to the end here.
I will expect that he will try and do a bit of a cutback or something going up the hill.
Down the inside.
Straight down the inside. That was
nice.
Yes.
He was just on the smooth there, I think.
Thought Tom unawares.
Yeah.
Again, it's just nice Nice bit of line, just starting to get a little bit of dry. It's not dusty, but we're just getting a little bit of dust kicking up out of the bottom of the ruts. Now all of a sudden the battle between Kelly and Grimshaw right there in front of the number 83 Spaniard. Kelly doing everything he can to try and keep the number 41 of Tristan Purdon. Like I say, another man that's changed bikes mid-season, and this is his first race on the Kawasaki. He said he's had a day on it and quite likes it. In other words, he said, well, I haven't had a chance to mess with it too much yet, I'm just going to get on and go. So sometimes that is what he needs, and he just makes a really nice pass up the inside of Todd Kellett, who, let's be honest, Todd's here just getting a bit of bike time on that Honda.
Yeah.
His big thing is obviously going to be the World Beach Cross Championship for that SR Motor Blues Championship team for José Salfranche there, based out of France.
They've done such a nice job to the track, haven't they? There's so many lines.
Over around the inside for Oliver. He just squeezes up the inside.
Yeah, Todd didn't put too much of a fight out there, did he?
Yeah, Todd's not going to make any friends falling off and putting himself out of action for the rest of the season at a race like this. So it is really just a chance to get a run out. Purdon reaches up and pulls a tear off. So gaps at the front then. Muse 9 seconds ahead of Taylor Hamill, with Watson a further 3 seconds adrift, and it's a long way back now, almost 30 seconds, almost, or in fact even a little bit more than that, as you can see on the K-Tech Tower. 34 seconds back to this battle between Purdon and Oliver and Todd Kellett. And I think once Oliver's found his way through this, that will be as far as he goes, with 9 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Is there anywhere on this track where you can actually kind of catch a little bit of a break?
Yes, there is. Again, it comes down to line choices, I feel like I said earlier, it's you can be in that position where everything's flowing and it feels easy, so yeah, then you feel like you can take a couple little breaks. I mean, this track doesn't get overly rough as such, but if you're in the main line too much and it's choppy, it can take it out of you a lot more. So yeah, like I say, it's been a bit. I've been on both sides where you can relax in places, and then there's other times where the track just feels like you're using a whole lot of energy.
So Conrad away at the front of this one, but this is the battle that we are watching between Aurel Oliver and Taylor Hamill. And Tristan Purdon. That was stung. That was stung his toes. Please not give it up.
I've clipped these posts before, and they are not nice. I was here last year. I just did a little race leading up to the British Championship here, and on this first turn, I just lent it into one of the ruts and clipped the post and broke my little finger. They're in there. You can see some posts down there now from being clipped.
Yeah, and like I say, when you're leant over as well, even the short ones are suddenly just at the wrong height.
That's it. The ruts get so nice here, and you can lean it over so much that then actually you're hitting your fingers on the post because you're leant over so much.
When Oliver managed to pass on Tristan Purdon, went down to pit lane.
Looking at the timing, Ben is back on to Taylor, only a second.
Yes, he is. So he has closed the gap. As Hamill's made a mistake, because that gap was 7 seconds odd to Conrad Muse. So Ben has closed back in. I think that is going to be a mistake. We'll have to see what the times give us when they come across the line next time.
From what I can see, Ben's actually made the pass. Here they.
There's Aurel Oliver. Indeed he has. So whilst that looked like it was something that was going to blow itself out, all of a sudden Ben Watson back up to second place. So I think that Taylor's made a mistake there somewhere on the line. Josh, he was a long way
2 or 3 seconds on Ben, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Be interesting to see if Taylor can respond now.
Yeah, back to show Conrad a little. It's good feedback coming out and playing to us. This looks good. Yeah, you can see all them posts been knocked all over the place.
Phil won't be happy with that.
But Oliver then up to fourth finally. I'd say put a decent amount of time into our race, into Tristan Purdon. Trying to find our race leader.
There he is.
10 seconds over Ben Watson. There he is. The Crendon True 7 Honda. Had some interesting battles that we've been able to follow. He pops a lap on the 1:41. That is Nathan Green. But Conrad been absolutely metronomic then, just banging laps in, and not had a challenge since he managed to find his way past Stevie Clark on that opening lap, Josh.
No, he's rode a pretty smooth race so far. He's always good. Well, he's good at every track, but yeah, he's got that little gap and he's just maintained it. It just looks like he's in a nice flow at the minute.
And again, somebody else coming off injury. We had Dave Thorpe message Jeff during the coverage at Ling saying what he'd been through over winter, getting his hips sorted out and stuff like that in preparation for this season. So he didn't hit the ground running at round one, and he seemed a little bit disappointed. But he's certainly found his feet now, and expecting that he will carry on the improvement from round to round. Like I say, this will he would have been leading the championship. Now I think it's going to swing back the way of Ben Watson, because he's managed to find his way past Taylor Hamill. We're going to take a quick pop down to pit lane where Jeff is with somebody. We will find out.
Yeah, here we are, Phil, down here in pit lane, checking in with the Crendon True 7 team. Just, I think Rob's got time for a quick chat. His rider's checking out in front. Rob, I know you're always busy this time of the race, but Conrad, listen, Cat was out of the bag. DT obviously announced the difficulties in the off-season for him. So as a mechanic, you've got to be patient as well as he comes back to fitness. But so far today, he made a great start. In qualifying, he kind of looked a little bit chilled with it all. He didn't. He kind of rolled over the line on his quickest lap with time to spare. But
no, he was very, very chilled, to be fair. Yeah, he knew in the races where it counts.
But also, this is Conrad country. I mean, this is so similar to his practice track. He loves this kind of going. What do you do as a mechanic, regards to the bike? Do you have anything set up differently for this event?
There's always a difference between like here and Ling, like the sand. Set a bike up differently. Here you got the deep long ruts. Yeah. He's coming through in a second.
I was going to say, I don't want you to miss because you're chatting to me. I don't want that kind of responsibility. I'll let you get on. But Rob, obviously, he's been here before. Conrad's won a lot of races. Just seeing who else is around here if we got a bit of time. Let's just work back this way. Mind the Spo there, Josh. I knew you were going to do that. But we can maybe see some of the things getting written on the pit board round here as the guys get ready. Great to see this man here. The guy in the blue there, that is Tim, the ACU chairman, Tim Lightfoot, rocking out to all the events now. So ACU and this whole British Championship is stepping up. We go back to the guys in the booth there. Great insight from Rob, and we'll finish this race off. Can Conrad get it done? Well, right now he's certainly in the driving seat to get in a race win at the opening moto here at Landrake.
Cheers, Jeff, and another lap in the books then for Conrad Muse. And great to get that, let's say, the insight down there, what's going on in pit lane. Literally at the back end of the bus. It's so nice for us to be next to everything. Doesn't happen at a lot of races. We are where we are. And but Conrad then, 11 seconds, the gap he will take. We will press the button. Our Phoenix Tools fastest lap of the race. And as a result of that, he's got himself off to a good start this weekend. But as we've seen, Ben Watson, and this was one of the things he said in one of the interviews after Ling, it takes him too long to get going. The one-day format is not a thing that Ben Watson likes. He did say he wanted to go out and ride more on the Saturday before these rounds, so that he was coming into Sunday regularly, because all of his top performances have been in Moto2.
Yeah, it's Ben's done, obviously he's been a long time in GPs, hasn't he? And I prefer the one day format compared to the 2 days, just because maybe it's because of the British Championship, you just go up doing that, but I just feel like the GPs are such a long day, a long weekend. You get there on like the Thursday night or the Friday morning, and then you have start practice on the Friday, and then you have qualifying and a qualifying race and everything on the Saturday, and then it come Sunday it's like you're on your third day of riding, which if Ben's just been doing that for so long and no British Championship, which is 1 day, then I do get it for him. But yeah, like I said, personally I actually prefer the 1 day format. Like when I went to America and done a few rounds out there a few years ago, it was, even though I had never ridden the tracks before, I just still got on with it. Like Conrad nearly made a mistake there. Even over there, like I've never ridden the tracks before, and you have two qualifyings, and it's literally from the first lap of the first. You do your out lap, and then the green flag goes, and it's your qualifying.
You've got to go, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. It depends on your person, like how you sort of your mentality and what you prefer. But yeah, I definitely prefer the 1 day formats. Like when in COVID we was doing the GPs, the 1 day formats. Even then I preferred it, and I think a lot of other riders actually prefer that. But then obviously you have Ben that he obviously doesn't.
Yeah. Although he did have some really, really good results in that COVID year. I think he almost I think that was one of his better years on the 450 for certain. But yeah, at the end of the day, how we're watching Conrad now, he's away with this one. But let's not underestimate that Ben Watson always has something he can pull out. He's a clever rider. He'll know he's got nothing for Conrad in this one, so he might be just keeping his powder dry. I'll pass Taylor. Let's see what we can do in Moto2. Make a few changes to the bike and hit the ground running. And like I say, we've seen that more than once. We're seeing a few little spots of rain on the bus window. So slight change in the weather. That is also going to make things interesting for the second group of races.
That could make a big difference for race 2. That is for sure.
So 2 laps to go then for our race leader, Conrad Muse. It has kind of all stretched out a little bit out the front. No battles really to speak of. Oriel Oliver has made himself a decent run through the pack to 4th to keep his championship points tally ticking along nicely. But everybody else, the top 3 are gone. Muse then leads by 15 seconds almost then from Ben Watson, with Hamill there 25 seconds adrift. And again, once you get to this level, you know in your own mind, I'm not doing anything else here. I'll take the points. I'm not going to take any risk. Keep your powder dry for the next race or next weekend or whatever. MX2 boys and the 125 riders have got no concept of that at all. No. They're all absolutely wide open.
Yeah. This is definitely, once you get to MX1, or like you sort of get to that a little bit older, you kind of know how to sort of play the game, or what cards you've been dealt with at that point. It's to say, like you say, with the young, when you're a bit younger, it's just like all out, and then if something goes wrong, you get flustered in the moment. Whereas it just comes with experience, and obviously like you say, Conrad's got this in the bag with 1 lap to go. He'll be just in cruise mode himself, and Ben's probably in cruise mode thinking, I'm going to try and save as much energy for the second race as possible. So they're probably both going to go back and maybe both be quietly confident, thinking they'll have slightly different mindset. It could make an interesting second moto.
And of course, we don't know how hard Conrad's trying. He's just, I've got this covered. I don't need to be going any harder. This will do. I'll take the points and I'll save some energy for Moto2.
I think looking at how he's riding, he's definitely just cruising. Not cruising, but he's in his safe zone.
He's taking no risk, and now you can see that turn in the top field there as they come down the Landrake Leap. It's now loamy there. The ruts that were there this morning have all been blown away, and it's now nice and loose. And this track is going to, so we were expecting a little bit of moisture at some point during the day, and we were just hoping that it wasn't going to come too soon. So now it's dried out a little. It might be seen there is the 23 of Taylor Hamill. But our race leader then this always looks a nice bit of the track where it sweeps left and then right round this corner.
Yeah, this is quite an awkward corner though. It's every year. It's never changed. It's always because you're sort of trying to drive up around the turn, but it's also like the turn's sort of falling away from you as you get to the top, and then it always gets so rutty. So keeping like your feet on the pegs right the way around does sort of help, because you're keeping the bike planted. Yeah, it's actually probably one of the most awkward corners on the track, I would say.
And it is one of those tracks where there's lots and lots of places to make up time, but there's also lots and lots of places to throw it away quite easily.
Yeah, for sure. It's you've got to be inch perfect around here. Yeah, because it's hard to sort of gain fractions of a second, but like you say, it's so easy to say stand it up in a turn and lose a second.
So checker flag waves. Conrad Muse takes victory in a Pico Factory Racing MX1 Moto #1. A comfortable victory at the end of the day for the man on the Crendon True 7 Honda. He comes across the line and the gap out to Ben Watson. Well, Ben still not across the line. Here comes the championship leader, the red plate holder, and he will maintain that red plate. We don't swap it between races for obvious reasons, but he will hold on to the championship lead, and we will get to hear from Jeff how his race went, and also the very, very impressive Taylor Hamill. Here comes Taylor. He'll take a well-deserved third place, and he will be looking to maybe back that up in the next one. Aurel Oliver, well, he ran him down quite a lot at the end, but another lap maybe he would have gotten the chance to have a bit of a shot at him, but it's going to be quite a while before we get the rest of the guys coming through, where it should be Purdon, Kellett, Tom Grimshaw in 7th.